G'day, I'm Dave, out and about with Dave. I'm doing another video now for George's 4x4 recovery for Tony. We've been talking about it for a while, me and a friend of mine, Brian, and we've been talking about pulleys and what's new on the market and things like that, and looking at a better way for a particular problem that we identified when we were out in the tracks once. So I'll go through that with you, go through the different options and things like that. Not that one's no good, but it's just each one has a little advantages and disadvantages. So first one is the snatch block. Now, a lot of you would have seen one of these. It's often the go-to for a recovery set that you might buy, and it comes as a split, sometimes called a plate pulley, as I might call it, but it's a snatch block. So it's an older type one, tested and proven. You put the winch rope through there for a redirection or for a two-line pull or something like that, and it's captured inside there. But a disadvantage of these current plates is that with the advent of soft shackles, you can't put a soft shackle through here because it's too sharp. The edges are too sharp for what you're wanting to do. Okay, you can damage the cord and break it and things like that, and then this goes flying that way. So it's simple, it's quick, and it can be easily serviced. There's a little circlip there that you can undo, and you take that off and grease the bearing and clean it up and that sort of stuff. And they're readily accessible, as I say. So there's a grease nipple in there to fix it up, another circlip in there to work on it. Disadvantages, it's these plates are often limited to about 10 tons or so. You can get bigger ones, but obviously they weigh more and they're bigger. But this one here is about 3 kilos as it stands. It's open, as I say. If anything fails here, like if and it's not like the shackle broke or something like that, that you might put through it, then it's not captured. The rope is loose to come out. And what I mean by that is putting a shackle in there. If anything was to happen and that shackle was to break, or the ropes that you've tied it to and things like, or the tree protector, everything else broke, then the rope inside here could come off when it's pulled apart, and that becomes a flying object. But the chances of that are very, very minimal with the type of plate it is and the design. So we'll put that one to one side. So I said before about the advent of soft shackles, and hand in hand with that probably came these pulley rings, often in an alloy style, and quite simply the pulley ring, the winch goes through there for your redirection or your two-line pull or more, 3-line pulls, 4-line pulls, etc. But you wouldn't use a shackle on this because it's going to damage the inside and things like that. But what you do is you then put a soft shackle through here, and that pulls on that, and that rope sits in there. Okay, so the advantage is that's nice and light. It's quick to assemble, as I just did then, and it's easy to carry in your top pocket or your pants pocket or something like that if you're walking to an incident with your mate or yourself. However, it requires some tension to hold it like that when you're setting it up on the go, because what I'm meaning by that is you put it on the ground and suddenly that'll end up like that, it'll fall over, it'll fall out. It needs probably 2 people, or you need to go and pull your winch in, establish that tension, put it on, then go back to the car and work on it, making sure that that hasn't moved in that period. Okay, I say 2 people because they can actually hold it or whatever as the pulley tension comes in. I did show a previous video when I was looking at redirections for Tony. It's on his channel and mine, and you'll see the troubles that I had with it falling down and things like that. But that's par for the course, I suppose. It's the other bigger issue is that it's open. If anything happens here again with your soft shackle or the tree protector or whatever it's attached to over here, this is coming off again. And I know this from experience, and don't ask why. If it breaks or anything like this, this now becomes flying. So it's going to, like that, it's going to take off in the distance with or without this soft shackle on it, and I've seen it go about 100 meters at full force. So something to be aware of. It's the danger of it. It's light. People say, oh, that won't do much harm, but up close it obviously will. A bigger disadvantage of these is that it's going to heat up. So as this is turning through here, it's either going to heat up around here on the ring, or it's spinning around here is going to heat up on a heavy long pull. It's going to heat up that there. Now this denier rope that we've got, it's probably only serviceable about 70 to 80 degrees Celsius. These can heat up around that sort of temperature and a little bit more. So it's something to be careful of if you're doing a long, hard, heavy winch. Okay, so that's where that has its disadvantages. Advantages, nice and light, put in your pocket, ready to go, and that's about 11 tons, that one. You can get bigger ones. So what I wanted to show you, really setting the scene, Tony's worked with myself and Brian, and we've been discussing this for a while. It's what he's called as the Dingo Snatch Block. Okay, so what we've got is a little bit of a best of both worlds, I suppose, and more, in that this now is a solid construction. It's nice solid steel. You can get it with an aluminium ring in it, in there. It's got a pin there that you can take off to service that if you needed to. It's got a grease nipple in there, and it's got a pin on here that allows you to split it, take that off, and then you can split that to put your winch rope on. Okay, so you've got the winch rope in there. Now when you close that up, well, when you put your soft shackle in there, close that up, put the pin back in with the retainer, you've now got yourself effectively a pulley ring, but you've also got it tethered over here. Should anything fail, this is all encapsulated in here. It's not going to go any further than what the winch rope is going to be doing. Okay, it's simple to assemble. The rope is captured, and you can grease it up. You can grease the nipple in there, a little grease nipple in there to clean up and pull it apart and clean it and degrease it and everything else. It'll actually take a shackle as well. So if we take this pin out again, and we take this out, you can now put a shackle in there. Tighten that up. Now that's useful because if you have recovery points like my car and it doesn't take a soft shackle because they're too sharp, you can still put a shackle on the recovery point and you're ready to go. Again, it's all retained, it's all nice in there, which is different to this setup in that if you had to put this on a hard recovery point on your car, you would do that and then you'd put another shackle through there to put that onto your recovery point. So we're getting rid of one of two of these items. So you're getting rid of the soft shackle in this instance here and put it on directly. And that can go around there. I haven't tried it, I meant to bring one with me here, but you could actually, I suppose, and I have to check this out. If you had a small strap or something like that, you might be able to put that on there and still close it up. I'll have a word to Tony about that, and maybe the openings can be made a bit bigger. But that's what you've got there now, the Dingo Snatch Block. Its capability is actually 22 tons, so it's twice as much as this, and it's twice as much as this one. So, and with that wheel in there, it's not going to heat up unless you've got some gunk in there and it's sticking. But 22 tons versus the 10s and that sort of stuff in the standard stuff. It's good for long pulls, as I say, and it's relatively small. I mean, it's a bit smaller in your kit and lighter in your kit than this one. So there it is. On a disadvantages side of things, and I can't think of too many, is if you take that pin out and you drop this in the sand or mud or water or whatever else, you may have difficulty finding it. So this one here doesn't have a removable pin for the activity. This one here doesn't have a removable pin. This one does. But that's quite simply fixed. What we've got on here is a screw-in pin that goes onto that. You can put a rope on there or a lanyard on there. There's nothing stopping you from putting a rope through that, a thinner rope, and that can go back and even tether to a tree or something to again retain this and stop it from going anywhere. But I think with it all encapsulated in here, it's a lot safer than what the other options are in a breakage situation, and that would happen if you used your tree protector or your soft shackle on here, etc. That was a lower rating than the whole setup, and you're pushing the limits. So chase up Tony, have a chat to him, have a look, and it's going to be on the market very, very soon. The Dingo Shackle Block, there it is there. And again, just be careful of the other ones if you're using it on a long pull, for heavy pull, for heating up and that sort of stuff, or even setting it up, flopping around. And this one, in how you set it up, you need to use a shackle, etc., a steel shackle, and just the weight of it for carrying around. So there you go, all three very, very viable options. This one now brings a new age to the shackle movement, giving you a lot more retaining. Okay, so there you go. Enjoy, and have a word to Tony if you need to, or drop me a line. Out and about with Dave, and I'll see you on the tracks. See you guys.